Our guest today, we have Fernanda Lima, and she was an exchange student with us in 1999-2000, so she got to watch everybody panic to see what would happen to our computers. When it must have been fun. And so we invited her today, and we're going to spend a few minutes just chatting with her. So welcome, Fernanda. Go ahead and say hello and tell us what you've been up to for these last 20 years. Oh my God, 20 years. Can you believe it?
Yes, I know. That's a lot. Well, hello, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be here and to see some of you. I mean, I know, well, of course, Carl and Craig. I saw him here. Craig Newman. Well, wow. They were my host parents, and I'm actually kind of emotional to be here too. It's been a long time. sorry. Yesterday, well, thank you for the invitation, Maggie, and everyone here. It's really a great pleasure to be here. I prepared a quick PowerPoint presentation with some pictures to guide my words, and I'll share my screen with you. I know I only have 10 minutes, so I'll try to be quick. Okay, can you see my screen? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Maggie said, I was a Rotary exchange student in Arcata in 1999. Well, the year here is wrong, 2000. And I started with a picture of a small newspaper. Well, I still have this newspaper ad in my things. I have like an album of pictures and things from my time in Arcata, and this is the opening of the album. And yesterday I was looking at it, so that's why maybe I'm so emotional, because lots of memories came back to me. So who I am, my name is Fernanda, and I'm from a small town in São Paulo. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Brazil, but this is a map of Brazil, and the yellow dot is where I'm from. It's actually a small city in the metropolitan region of São Paulo. And that's my family before I went to the exchange. That's actually the picture I sent on my application. So I'm the eldest, and I have two brothers, well, and father and parent. And my family is not from São Paulo, it's from Rio. So we were a very united family. And I think my parents were, I always tell my mom and my dad that I think they were kind of crazy to send their eldest daughter to the States. They were not Rotary members. They learned about Rotary because a friend of them invited my parents to be a host family. And they said, well, sure, but can I actually send my daughter to, because I have always wanted to go on an exchange. And I was approved, and actually the other guy wasn't. So I was the first Rotary exchange student in my city, in Ribeirão Pires. And that's the picture of my arrival. As you can see, well, I had a teddy bear. I was a child, I was 17. And that was when I arrived in Arcata. I was kind of frightened because I had to take 3 planes to get there. The last one was a very, very small plane. And I arrived there, all I could see was forest, and I was like, oh my God, where am I going to? And that's when I had just arrived in the city. It was a really sweet moment because, I mean, Janice, Craig, Carl, they were waiting for me there with some exchange students with the flag of Brazil and a sign with my name. And then we had, I don't remember if that was at the same day or if it was a few days afterwards, but that was a meeting with like some of the most important people in my time in Arcata are here. So I have, I think this was like a kickoff event for my exchange. So all of my host parents are here. The first ones were Janice and Craig Newman. Janice is there in yellow. And then we had Carl and Vicky Ochsner there too. Carl is right there on the right for me. And Vicky is in blue, and Kathy and Bill Fraser. And also we had Leslie Odelberg. She was supposed to be my host mother, but well, in the end we didn't, but we became really close. And also in this picture are Cam Appleton, who and his wife Lisa and Thea. Cam was my counselor, and they also became very important and very present people in during my stay. And I think this picture brings lots of good memories to me because, of course, well, I had a really good time in Arcata. I mean, it's a really nice city. And wow, I saw the mountains. I tried snowboarding. I went to the lake. The school was really nice. I mean, I had a really, really, really nice time. But I think for me, the exchange was like a really turning point because, as I said, I come from a very united family. And I think it's when I learned, first of all, that people, wherever you go, you can find nice people and you can form a network of people to support you. And I think that was a great learning for me. I mean, to trust people. And I think the other great thing that the exchange did to me was that I learned that my point of view, my culture was just one of many. Here I have some more pictures. Well, this is of course the picture with exchange students, the redwoods. I don't know if any of you know, but when I was a teenager, I tattooed a redwood. That's, I mean, the memory was so intense that I decided to carry it with me. And yeah, and I think, as I said, it was a turning point because I learned that people from all over the world, they are different. They have different cultures. So of course we have to learn from them and not turn my memory and my culture down. But I think it's a matter of dialogue and respect and empathy. And that's a learning that I took with me. That was one of my final pictures in the States. It was when I was doing the trip around the US. As you can see, I changed a lot. I got my hair cut. I had braids in my hair. I had dyed my hair. I gained 15 kilos. I was a very different person. But I think that this experience, as I mentioned before, I wanted to be a lawyer, and I had always thought about staying, well, I don't know, in Ribeirão Pires, my hometown. And after this, I just came back and I was like, yeah, I want to know the world. I want to know more. I know that there is more than what I was used to. So after my exchange, I actually decided to study international relations. At the beginning, as a very naive teenager, I wanted to be a journalist in conflict areas, like war areas. But then I kind of changed it, and in the end, my trajectory here in Brazil led me to a very different path. I had another exchange experience in my graduation. I went to France for 6 months. And when I was there, they had, I don't know if you remember, but they had like those big riots in the banlieues where people were turning and burning cars, etc. And I was there at the University of Political Science, and I was going through participating in all those debates, and they were like, yeah, poverty here is huge. The migrants can't enter into society in an equal way. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying from what your point of view, but I live in the periphery of Paris, and this has nothing to do with the periphery in Brazil. So when I came back, I was like, yeah, I really need to figure out to learn more about Brazil and its poverty side. So I turned my career completely, and that's what I have been doing so far. So I worked for many years in international NGOs in Brazil. And those pictures I brought here because I think they kind of show the different sides of my work. I mean, I'm often in the field, and I'm also often in governmental and international meetings with people from university, college, and people from slums. So that's what I have learned to do, to build dialogues between people who are different, with different cultures, but now with a national view and looking more into our local inequality and differences. And this is, well, after working for some time in NGOs, I actually decided to go back and study. And I did a master and a PhD degree in public administration. And I continued to work with poverty issues in Brazil. The picture with a bunch of people was it's the day of my defense. It was last year, so it's very recent. And this is the picture. These are recent pictures of me and my family. I still don't have kids. As I said before, my kid is my thesis. It took me a lot of time. But I do have a small nephew, and he's really, really cute. And I'm also mother of 2 babies, and I'm married. That's a picture of my husband, Leo. And my parents, some of you may have known them because they went to Arcata too. That's, they are in the picture there. Yeah, so that's it, a very quick presentation. Sorry for all this emotion, I really wasn't expecting this. I think looking at all the pictures just brought this up. And yes, so and I was thinking yesterday that, like, now I'm an adult and I keep thinking how difficult it must be and how, I mean, organizing this kind of stuff, like exchange students. At the same time, I really think this is kind of crazy. Like, I always tell my parents, really, how did you let me go there? But, and I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I imagine a lot of energy, because I know that we as exchange students, I mean, we're cute, we're fun, we're learning, but we also cause problems. And we want to do lots of things that are not, well, really allowed. That's how things work. But I'm really grateful for everything you did to me, because yeah, it was definitely something that changed who I am. So that's it. And that's a picture. I found a crush. I don't know how to say that. I found it yesterday. I still carry it. So I think it's a sign.
Well, Fernanda's wonderful. I mean, people are, that was so wonderful to hear from you, and hear what you're doing in your life, and how your experience here in terms of learning about different cultures and becoming curious helped frame your life, and how you are still working with different people and trying to get folks together. And that's just amazing and wonderful. And I know we have your parents here. I know they want to say hello, and there are going to be, but I'm going to have to say that we've got 2 minutes for this. But I'm going to start, I want to start with Carl, you and your wife there, I see. Do you want to say anything to Fernanda?
Hi, Fernanda. We're so happy to see you this morning, and we're so glad that your life has turned out so well. You've achieved a lot of things, and it sounds like you're doing wonderful stuff.
Hi, Fernanda. I didn't get to hear all your talk. I didn't hear Carl calling me down. Emma wants your contact, your email address, and I have your email address. I'm going to email you because I have all sorts of questions for you that I didn't get to hear.
Thank you. And Janice, do you want to say hello?
Oh, so grown. Hi, Fernanda.
Oh.
It's so great to see you. Craig is here too.
Hi, Fernanda. It's great to see you again. It's been a long, long time, but we still remember you. 20 years ago. It's great to see your development and how you've changed and grown up. It's just fantastic. Thanks for agreeing to be part of our meeting. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I don't think Kathy was able to make this call. She joined us a couple weeks ago for a student who came, but she must have had something going on. So I know she would say hello and wish you well, and be so pleased to hear about what you're up to. And okay, I'm going to do this. It's dangerous, Greg. You were president during her year. So if you would share briefly anything you might have learned as a result of her visit, how it made you a better person, because we all know that was important.
Well, 20 years ago, I can better remember anything. I was a new president with a new job and a new baby all at the same time. But you know, I see that presentation. I mean, how impressive. And it's gratifying to see the effect that this club has had on not only Fernanda, but I think every one of these exchange students who come back and visit. I mean, they're amazing people, and I think they would be amazing on their own, but it's I guess gratifying to all of us, you know, the impact we have, and in a crazy world right now, you know, every person matters, and the things that we stand for and the things that we teach and the effect that we have is really gratifying. So great job, Fernanda. A PhD, my gosh. Now I feel like I'm 1,000 years old.
Well, you are, and that's fine.
Perfect. And not yet video ready so you're going to see my Rotary photo there.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that you take care of us in that way. So thank you so much, Fernanda. We have a presentation today about polio, and we hope you stay with us and hear it. It's going to be a great presentation. Thank you so much.